Hi, my name is Rodney Phillips, and today we're going to be talking about self-disclosure. Self-disclosure is a type of communication in which you reveal information about yourself. The information doesn't necessarily have to be negative, it just has to be unknown to the listener. Like when I told my mother that I was going to be pursuing my degree. There are also far greater consequences when associated with self-disclosure. Like when Michael Sam came out as an openly gay football player. There are personal risks associated with self-disclosure, such as not being able to get a job or being able to get into graduate school. In the case of Michael Sam, he could have hindered himself from being drafted into the NFL. There were also relationship risks associated with self-disclosure, like when someone tells their significant other that they were unfaithful. That type of information can destroy that relationship. There are also professional risks associated with self-disclosure, like when a journalist come out and say they were untrue about a story that they wrote. That can destroy their credibility and their career. The benefits of self-disclosure is gaining self-knowledge about yourself. From responses of your self-disclosure, you can learn new things about yourself. You can also gain improved coping skills of dealing with problems and failures by learning new ways of dealing with them. You can also enhance your communication skills by being understanding of someone else's point of view because of your self-disclosure. You can also gain more meaningful relationships through self-disclosure. By being more open and honest with someone, it can in turn make them more open and honest with you. When self-disclosing, you should consider the motivation behind your self-disclosure. Why are you self-disclosing? It should be seen as productive to make the relationship better or the situation better. You should also consider the appropriateness of the self-disclosure. Is it with the right person? Is it in the right place? Is it at the right time? You should also consider the person that you're self-disclosing to. You don't want to disclose personal information to someone you just met. It should be a certain level of comfort you have with the person and trust. You should also consider the possible burdens or problems that may arise because of the self-disclosure, such as will you get fired, will you destroy a relationship, or anything of that manner. When receiving self-disclosure from someone else, you should be supportive of that person. You should be willing to also disclose some information with them, although you do not have to, but it will give them a certain level of understanding that you have for the problem. You should also keep that information confidential because that person trusts you with telling you that information. You should also not use that information against that person, also because that person trusts you and it's just the right thing to do. You should also consider the way you disclose your information, like whether it be face-to-face conversation or on a social media. If you want that information to be kept secret or confidential, you should not post it on social media because there is no way of controlling that information once it is posted on social media. You should also consider the person that you're relaying self-disclosing to, because if that person is not known for keeping information confidential, it wouldn't be wise to give that person that type of information. You should also be wary of information that can haunt you later on down the line. You shouldn't post anything on social media that you don't want hurting you later on in life. Again, my name is Rodney Phillips, and I would like to thank you for listening to my video. Have a great day.